All right, welcome into the sports room. I'm your co-host, Riley/Bubba Evans, joined with Derek Crystal, Darius Matthews, and we'd like to formally welcome in for the very first time the man, the myth, the legend, the king of Philadelphia, Chase Wayne Sorenson. Chase, welcome into the sports room, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Fly, Eagles, fly.
We're going to get into plenty of that.
NFC champs, babe. NFC East champs. Sorry. I don't think the champions part's going to happen now. R.I.P. Carson.
Everybody pumped for the weekend? I'm pumped. Big plans for the weekend, anybody?
Yeah. A lot of work.
DC?
Nope. Star Wars on Tuesday.
Star
Wars on Tuesday. I don't even like Star Wars. I'm bringing that up, so that tells you about my weekend.
I'm going to see it tonight. Can't tell, repping. Okay. Empire Strikes Back. I like this sweatshirt. I think it's cool, but I don't like it because Darth Vader's holding two lightsabers, and at no point in any movie is he ever doing that, but whatever. I'm pretty excited.
Dude, Taylor Swift told me 2 is better than 1. 2 is better than 1.
I believe that, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this Star Wars. Everyone keeps talking about how much everything's going to change, like, how it changes so much. No spoilers. Haven't seen it yet, but I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a Marvel person anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm excited to see it.
I'm going to be honest. I like episode 1, 2, and 3, so I feel like my opinion's probably irrelevant.
You like the one with Qui-Gon Jinn?
Yeah, like the storyline. Like there's a lot of like political like undertones in there, so I like that. But it wasn't well executed. It was poorly executed. Good design, poor execution.
I think I could probably get on board with that.
I love the story, but and I think your boy, what's his face, the guy that plays Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, mm-hmm. Your boy, I remember. That
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
See, whenever people see him, I think Moulin Rouge before I think Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm probably in the minority there.
The Island.
Dude, never even heard of that.
Some movie where they want to get sent to an island, and they do.
That was one of the biggest flops of all time. I do remember that much. Like him and ScarJo were like the island, and then it like tank. We're talking like Waterworld level tankage.
I don't know. I never even heard of that. So whatever. I'm pretty excited to see it. I'm not like overly pumped, but I'm like, yeah, this will be good. Some people are just like so obsessed with this kind of stuff, though. It's kind of funny. But
it's like me with the Eagles.
I'm going at 11:15 p.m.
I fully get it. It's like me with the Eagles. I 100% get it.
It's like a slight creepy obsession.
I mean, I'd say probably fully creepy, but it's okay. To each their own, I'm
going at 11:15 tonight. It's pretty late. I used to go to the midnights. I went to all the midnights of like all the Harry Potter movies and Star Wars and stuff.
No, I'd be asleep.
Too old, dude.
Too
You're like
old.
25 and you're too old.
25, too old. Any movie past 8:30 gets me asleep now.
I don't know what the heck's the matter with you. All right, we're getting into let's get into the sports here. We got Chase here. Chase, as I mentioned at the end of Monday's show, take the person that you know who likes a sports team the most of anybody you've ever known. Okay, maybe it's someone, I don't know, someone that you know is just like this crazy like fan of, I don't know, Alabama, something. Chase is double, triple, quadruple that in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. And with the news breaking earlier this week of Carson Wentz going down with the ACL, done for the year, we could not let this opportunity pass to get our boy Chase Wayne into the studio. So Chase, Sunday, Carson goes down. Goes out of the game, comes back in, plays a few plays.
Yeah, I thought it was a concussion at first, so I'm like, oh, dude, we're good.
Because it was like a weird-looking hit.
Yeah, like, it was a bad hit. Like,
my first thought wasn't a knee.
But I'm like, oh, it's a concussion, like, dang it, he's out. But then when they showed that replay, I just knew. I'm like, I just knew. And
do you have the censor button ready?
No, I told Spencer I try to keep it clean. But I knew, like, right away, and I was just like, why, God? So I was like, why? I prayed
what have I done to deserve
I prayed
this?
that night for him, for a complete stranger I've never met, and I said, God, take my ACL. I don't even have health insurance, but you can have it. I shed a tear or two, not going to lie. This whole week, Monday was numb, Tuesday, but, show must go on. We lost Jordan Hicks, IR Achilles. We lost my boy Jason Peters, number 71, big offensive tackle. Love the guy. He went down. We lost Chris Maragos. We've lost a lot of injuries, so we just got to keep on chugging. Keep on chugging.
So Chase, tell me about your hope and your faith in Nick Folk.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, sorry.
Nick
Folk. Tell me about him as well.
So Nick Folk, last I heard he's playing for the Jets. You telling me I'm coaching the GD Jets? No, I'm kidding. Foles.
Nick Foles.
He had that good year with Chip Kelly.
27 touchdowns, 2 picks,
I believe. Oh, man, but
is he taking the Eagles to the promised land? Darius thinks he can.
I think he can. I don't doubt him. I think he can.
I mean...
Well, I think the positive of that is that you have Doug Peterson as your head coach, and he's a QB guy.
Yeah, so they got Doug Peterson, John DeFlip... I always get his name wrong.
Flipio?
Yeah. And their offensive staff is all quarterbacks, so that's good. And Colin Cowherd had it on there. Like, when he's had a good offensive mind, he's been a pretty solid quarterback. So if we just pump Jay Ajayi, pump LeGarrette Blount. I mean, every play. They're big. They're bruisers. Nobody wants to hit them. Fly, Eagles, fly all the way into that end zone. We got a shot. I think we should beat the Giants. I hope. I hate the Giants.
This week?
Yeah, I freaking hate them, man. So I hope we just destroy them.
You must understand that what comes with a fandom as deep and passionate as Chase's is an equally deep and passionate bias towards other teams.
Oh, absolutely.
And so included in that category are the Giants, the Redskins, and definitely the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Redskins are the least.
You hate them the least.
Yeah, they've...
So does it go Giants, Cowboys, Redskins?
It goes Cowboys and Giants are like equal. I hate that damn star, man. Like, oh yeah, Jerry Jones. First of all, dude, screw you. Okay, but the Giants got 2 rings with Eli Manning. That's like, I don't know, Blake Bortles getting 2 rings. Okay, like why?
Well, I think Eli's a little bit better than Bortles.
Yeah,
I mean maybe, but like I don't know. So it's deep, but I want to beat them. But dude, Nick Foles, he's not Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was MVP. I mean, I think you guys would all agree with me this year. He was the MVP of the NFL.
All right, so
you're a pro. It's next guy up. Next guy got to be ready to go.
Well, regular season aside, they're making the playoffs.
Yeah, they already got the NFC East wrapped up.
How far are they going?
That's why these next 2 weeks are big. So if they can win at the Giants, and then they got the Raiders at home on Christmas Eve. Or on Christmas Day. It's on Christmas Day, actually, Monday night game. If they can win those 2, they get a first-round bye. I think that they can win the first-round game. And then, from there it's gravy as an Eagles fan. I'm looking at it this year. We know we got Carson Wentz coming back. The dude, I think, is the next face of the NFL. I mean, I might be biased. There's a lot of great young quarterbacks, but he is... I mean, he's Houdini back there in the pocket.
You can't handle the truth.
Who are you going to tell me? I'm curious.
No, I think I agree with that. But all right, so answer me this question then, Chase. The Eagles can still win the Super Bowl if blank. That's not even a question. Fill in the blank.
Jay Ajayi averages 100 yards. LeGarrette Blount gets a 60. They get a pair of touchdowns. LeGarrette gets between the 2 of them, they get 2 to 3 touchdowns a game. They got to get that pass rush. Chris Long just going in there like a madman, saving the game for us last week. They got that D-line. They're going about 8 deep. Vinny Curry, Derek Barnett, obviously Fletcher Cox, Tim Jerrigan, Bo Allen. They got to rotate those guys, and they got to be hammering on all cylinders. And then I think you got to unleash Michael Kendricks a little bit in the blitz game and let Malcolm do his thing back there as well. It would take some breaks, I'm not going to lie. I think if you're looking at the NFC now, you got to favor the Saints. I mean, Drew Brees.
That was what I said last week.
If
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin, is it Alvin? Okay. If Kamara is back, I think now with Wentz out, you got to favor them. And then the AFC, I'm telling you, I actually think it's going to go to the Super Bowl. You guys probably going to look at me like I'm nuts, but the Bolts, man, I don't think anyone's going to beat the Chargers in the playoffs. That secondary.
Well, they're still out of the playoffs.
They got to get there.
They're still out of the playoffs.
They got the Chiefs this week. They're 7-6.
Alex Smith is who we thought he was. That's all I got to say.
I've got that. Hold on, where is it?
They are who we thought they were.
Let him off the hook. That's who Alex Smith is. I just don't believe in it. And dude, here's the crazy thing about Phillip Rivers. He's top 10 in passing yards and passing TDs. Like, Phillip Rivers is damn good.
But I would argue Phillip Rivers knows how to lose a close game.
Yeah, that dude cannot finish.
Dude, it's not Phillip Rivers. It's just like it's
the Chargers, right? It's not just Phillip Rivers.
That dude's had more bad breaks. I love Phillip. Like I'm not even. I mean, when it comes to the NFL, I'm an Eagles fan, and that's about it. But I like Phillip Rivers, and that pass rush they got. Ingram on one end, they got Bosa on the other. Your boy out of the Ohio State. I mean, obviously Tom Brady, but really we trust in that defense. We trust and Steelers. I mean, Antonio Brown's legit, but
we'll find out about the Steelers this week.
I genuinely believe that the Chargers might be the best team in the AFC right now.
They're definitely the hottest team.
The best team in the AFC.
I can't ride with that. That's bold.
Patriots,
that might
Steelers.
That might be sizzling a little too much for me. But they are the hottest team. They're the hottest team in the league right now, frankly.
Absolutely. And the AFC is not that good. I mean, Jacksonville's a team that I think
getting in is realistic, obviously, and maybe winning a wild card game is realistic. But the two teams at the top of the AFC right now, obviously, they're playing each other this weekend, but that's a lot to match on either side of the ball.
I agree, but at some point, Tom Brady can't. I mean, and I'm a big Tom Brady fan. I think he's a GOAT.
Yes, you are.
But
let it be known, it's a well-documented fact.
At some point, he can't keep doing what he's doing. You know, at some point, this guy's
Father Time always wins.
Miami.
I would argue, Chase, that the Eagles are going to have one of the toughest challenges in their first game. Because if they get a bye, they're going to be playing who the winner of what, as of right now, it'd either be Falcons, Rams, or Panthers, Saints.
Seahawks.
Your first game.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna. I mean, so they might get bounced round one. I mean, they're a number one seed, but as of right now, and even if they finish out, but I'm saying I'd rather get in as a number one seed because then you at least have that home crowd. And I'm telling you right now, there ain't nothing like a Philly home crowd. If the Birds
ain't nothing like throwing snowballs at Santa.
If you know what, he was wearing blue. Okay, or red.
If the Cowboys get in, I want to watch a game with Chase. If it got to that point,
man, that'd be tough. So here's the thing. I don't think. Are we talking Cowboys with Zeke or without Zeke?
Well, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Because with Zeke, Dak's a top 10 quarterback. Without Zeke, I don't think he's top 10. But with Zeke, he's top 10. And so that team's good. Now the question is their defense is and I hate the Cowboys. So I'd be angry. I'd be if the Eagles lost. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Do you have the playoff picture set up right there?
Right.
So walk us through a potential first round matchup for the beloved Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, right now they have a bye.
bye.
And then they would play the winner of the Falcons-Rams.
And that's tough. We did beat the Rams. It's hard to beat a team twice in the NFL, but the crowd in Philly is going to be. We haven't been to the playoffs since Nick Foles, Chip Kelly's first year, 2014, I believe. So they're going to be pumped. They're going to be hyped, and I think that home crowd can lead us to one victory. Everything after that, as a Birds fan, is gravy. Now, if we get to the Super Bowl, gosh damn it, bring it home, baby, bring it home.
You play to win the game.
That's just for you, Chase. And Chase, I have another little piece of sound that I want you to listen to it. I want you to take it to heart. Dude, make no mistake about it. I would agree. I think a lot of us would agree. If the Eagles can continue on and win the Super Bowl, that would be a miracle. Lose your starting quarterback, starting left tackle, like you talked about, a bunch of injuries on defense. That would be nothing short of a miracle. And your at least moderate belief in the fact that they can still get there is somewhat inspiring to me.
Oh, if they win, I'm getting tattooed on my calf, 100%.
What tattoo are you gonna
just
get?
the Eagles logo with the Super Bowl logo on it. Like, it's happening.
It's got to be. You gotta think of something a little bit more creative than that.
I don't know. I'm not.
Put the record on there, or
like tattoo like Carson Wentz's birthday and Roman numerals.
Maybe I'll just get a Blue Anderson inspired Wentz right across my back.
Tweet at us what you think Chase should get tattooed on his foot or on his leg if the Eagles should win the Super Bowl.
But it has to be able to cover up for work, because
How about you get an eagle that the wings start mid back and floats over to the right pectoral area region.
I'd look like
with the beak
there.
Open in the middle of the chest, and inside the beak has this Super Bowl score.
Definitely, let's do it. So I do. Who do you guys have winning the Super? I'm curious.
Well, so this is what we did right here. You see on the board, and people who have listened will remember. I think last Friday, a week ago today, we did our NFL draft where we did 4 rounds where we each took turns drafting teams that we thought had a chance to win the Super Bowl. And so I believe Darius had the first overall pick, and he went with Seattle.
Seattle.
Sure did.
That was kind of my reaction too. But we all, we went, 4 rounds each, and so those are the teams that we each felt strongest about getting to and winning the Super Bowl. I feel pretty good about my top 2, Steelers and Saints. Specifically about the Saints now that Carson Wentz is down. I think they have a great shot at getting the Super Bowl.
I like Derek's sneaky good pick of the Ravens there. If you get in the playoffs, Joe Flacco's like Joe Montana.
This is why I hate the Ravens. He gets in, and it's just the Ravens
It's
are
like
just...
it's like him and Eli Manning. I genuinely like. There's a few questions like I'm gonna ask when I get to the other side, and that's gonna be one of them. My God, how in the world? Like how? They look like they're freaking Tom Brady out there. It's baffling. Here's what's crazy. Without the Manning family, how many rings right now does Tom Brady have? 10. I was listening to the radio the other night driving home. He's got 10 rings without the Manning family. What? I'm not a big Manning fan, but that would get old, so God bless the Mannings.
Now that you mention that, when was the last time, let's see, how many times can you think of that Tom Brady lost in the playoffs not to a Manning?
I think Joe Flacco beat him one year.
Probably the year the Ravens won the Super Bowl. Was that? Did they play the Patriots that year?
Yeah, because they lost the year before on like a heartbreaker. Mm-hmm. I remember, and Ray Lewis said he came back, and sure enough, they won it. So the U's back, baby. Go Canes. That's for you, Jordan Nelson.
Because that's a great point. Either Tom Brady has won the Super Bowl or he's lost to a Manning pretty much in the last decade.
And then Big Ben's beat him a couple times as well. But yeah, I think it was Freddie and Fitz were talking about it, and it was I believe, I could be wrong, but
anyway, we went a little sidetrack there, but those are the teams that we felt like we thought had a good chance of winning the Super Bowl. If I had to place money on a team right now, I'd probably say the Saints or the Steelers.
Who you got, Derek?
Over the Patriots?
Over the Patriots.
No, if I had to put an amount of money that mattered to me
I'll
right
tell
now,
you
I'd
this.
take the Patriots.
Listen, every year that the Patriots have won the Super Bowl, I'll get to you in a sec. Every year that the Patriots have won the Super Bowl, they've had a top 10 defense. They've had a top 7 defense. Mm-hmm. And
did they last year though?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of total defense, total yardage against. And they're just not even going to touch. They're not even going to get close to that this year.
So you're telling me if it was Saints, Patriots in the Super Bowl,
I'd take New Orleans. All right. Biggin, what do you think as far as Super Bowl?
I got to go with the old/young Steelers. I think Pittsburgh's going to beat New England this weekend. I really do. And I think, agreeing with Stephen A. Smith and everybody else, that Tom Brady showed his age against the Dolphins.
That is just one game, though. We got to pump.
It's just one game, but I really think come playoff time, I think that these teams are going to jump on Tom Brady. And I think if he sees a team like Jacksonville, if he sees a team like Pittsburgh, who has a good defense, we've seen in the past, Tom Brady does not handle great defenses in the playoffs.
Pittsburgh's defense is young, though.
They are young, but they have playmakers on that defense.
And I don't trust Joe Hayden, 2017 Joe Hayden.
Yo,
I don't trust.
You better watch your mouth when you're talking about Gators like that.
I don't know. I see.
You ain't a Gator, Gator bait.
Shout out.
Tom Brady. He's done. No more Super Bowls for Tom.
How about Trey Burton this weekend, Chase?
Dude,
you're welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm always been a big. They call him Pastor Trey on the team. He's kind of like the. So I love Trey Burton. I think he's gonna get. I wouldn't be surprised if they extend him. My boy Selleck. I think this is his last year. So.
Did you want to get a word in on the Super Bowl, Derek?
No, I just think that. The Patriots. I do think that the Patriots are still the favorite, even if they end up at the 2 seed in the AFC. But I do worry about the Steelers. I think the Saints have a legitimate shot, but I think that the other team, if they get in, would be like the Seahawks. Probably have a good one. But I did make an error here, Chase. So right now, if the Eagles played in the second round, if the playoffs started today, they would play the winner of the Panthers-Saints, not the Falcons-Rams. So the Eagles' chances against either the Panthers or the Saints.
Who's second place in the NFC right now?
The NFC? Yeah. The Vikings.
And that's a team that nobody is. Do we trust Case Keenum?
No. We've talked about that in here.
But I have to say, I think Derek's right. I know I said the Bolts earlier, but it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. It's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I've learned through time and experience in my life, there's been a rare number of people who I will never bet against. And Tom Brady's generally one of them. But I and I wouldn't bet against him, but I would bet against a bunch of no-name players that they have playing defense. I mean, if Jay Cutler's going to dice you up, like, that is like, that's probably like he's bottom 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league, and he handled them completely, and they were able to run the ball, which, you know, we kind of forecasted a matchup with the Saints. They're one of the best running teams in the league, with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I don't bet against Tom Brady, but I do bet against a bunch of guys that I've never heard of playing defense for him.
We'll have you in mind, Chase, throughout the playoffs. We'll have you in mind and
fly Eagles, fly, baby.
Think about those Eagles. But while we had you on, we wanted to kind of have this discussion, which we know you're very fiery about. And the way it was inspired is we knew you were coming on today, and we also knew that we tweeted out a quote from Scottie Pippen. Darius, what was that? What was that quote?
Scottie Pippen said, and I quote, I hate that he said this. He said that LeBron James has passed Michael in certain categories. The numbers don't lie.
100% correct.
So we know where Chase stands, but Chase, LeBron, MJ, 60 seconds, go.
I genuinely, I don't know how anyone's not on Team LeBron, the king, the GOAT. Now I get the 6 rings, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Everyone's like, oh, 6 rings. MJ made it to the finals 40% of the time. Right now, LeBron's making it over 50. So you're telling me it's better to lose before you get to the finals than to get to the finals? LeBron's going to have more points.
No, it's more important to win the finals.
But do you want to be there, or do you not want to even get there?
Win.
Okay, getting there is more important than not getting there.
Thank
but
you.
winning it is more important than getting there.
But MJ's not beating. Bulls teams aren't beating the Warriors last year. Sorry, not happening. Not a chance. I don't think they're beating the Spurs. I really don't.
I disagree.
I'll say MJ.
Respectfully.
MJ may have
disrespectfully disagree.
That's fine. I think MJ might have beaten one great team in the finals. And I don't think the Jazz were...
Please say the Jazz, please.
The Jazz were a very good team, but I don't know if they were great.
What?
We had 2 players. Jeff Hornacek, I love him, but the dude at the end couldn't move.
I to an extent agree with that. He didn't face the likes of super teams probably that LeBron's had.
And those Spurs teams are great.
Who's the best team that LeBron's beaten in the playoffs?
The San Antonio Spurs.
No, in the playoffs. In the East. You're talking about him getting to the finals because they're running through like...
They still...
the Raptors.
Derrick Rose with
the Raptors is
DeMar
the best
DeRozan.
team that they
Derrick
play.
Rose, they still beat him in his MVP year, and that team was good.
Who else did they have?
They had Taj Gibson
Noah
was great. Carlos Boozer was an all-star that year. I mean, that team, we're talking like 2012, they were a solid team. He eventually had to beat the Celtics. Now, granted, they got old, but what I'm saying here is he's going to finish with more rebounds. He already has more rebounds than assists. Rebounds, I understand. He's a lot bigger, but assist, what's MJ's excuse for that?
You're right.
He's a better scorer.
He's a better scorer.
But LeBron's going to have him in points, too.
Yeah, because he's playing way more.
But he's going to have him by a big margin. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens.
That's true. He is going to have it by a huge margin because Michael played baseball for 2 years.
And whose fault was that?
Yeah, but that's not has nothing to do with his legacy.
I mean,
that he decided to play baseball.
Michael, I think he was encouraged
but listen, the point is
for gambling reasons, but I digress.
He might have been.
The point is that yes, he's going to have him statistically in points. Career points per game, it's not going to be close.
Oh yeah, LeBron's at like 27, MJ's at 30, but LeBron, there's one player, maybe 2, Magic. I think you could throw in there, but. Even Magic, because Magic didn't have the shot. LeBron literally can say, James Harden goes out and throws 17 assists down the other night. What does LeBron do 2 days later? Does 17 assists on 13 shots, and he goes 11 for 13. LeBron can do anything that you can do, but he can do it better, and he can do everything.
I would agree with you saying that LeBron James is a better distributor than Michael Jordan was.
Yes. He's the best all-around player to ever strap on sneakers.
However, Michael Jordan was the best, I think... That this isn't arguable. He's the best scorer, right? Would you disagree with saying he's the best scorer of all time?
I'd say as of right now, he's the best scorer. I think Kevin Durant, as much as I dislike the guy, might go down as the best scorer.
So Michael Jordan led the league in scoring 10 times. LeBron James has done it once, and his career high was 31.4 points a game, which is, right here I'm reading, his career high is 31.4 points a game, which would be MJ's 7th best season. Jordan had 39 career 50-point games. LeBron James had 10. So I understand that he was he's a better distributor than Michael Jordan, but what we also got to realize is like people that are complaining about other things of Michael Jordan, like LeBron's a better defender. LeBron has never won Defensive Player of the Year, and Michael Jordan did it twice.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, the media, I'm going to say the media.
Do not go to the media with LeBron.
Oh, I think...
Because his is beyond anything you've ever seen.
And I'll say this.
LeBron James trims his beard in its photo of the night on ESPN.
Derek, I know you're a LeBron hater.
He whispered to Lonzo Ball yesterday, and I was getting updates on my phone about it.
About him whispering.
But let's be honest. What happens if MJ plays in the social media era?
Yeah,
Same thing. Same thing.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. You can't talk about media bias to either one.
Point taken. But what was MJ's line his 15th season? Look it up, please.
His 15th season?
When he was 40 years old?
It's his 15th season.
LeBron's not going to play till he's 40.
Also, LeBron also didn't spend any time in college,
and he also didn't have didn't have the opportunity to be coached by two legendary coaches, one in college at UNC. No, that helps. That's a big. He went straight from high school. No, though that's all part of it. MJ did, and then he has Phil Jackson. LeBron's had Eric Spoelstra. He's a good coach. I'll give you that.
Here's the thing.
But Tyronn Lue, David Blatt.
I'm starting to think that Phil wasn't really as good of a coach as
Phil's a terrible GM, but you can't argue his coaching.
I think he inherited great players.
Oh, he absolutely did, but you still got to manage him.
But let's rewind real quick, because you were saying, we were talking about who LeBron has had to face in the playoffs and how Michael Jordan never played a super team and whatnot, couldn't beat these teams. Michael Jordan faced juggernauts every year in the playoffs getting to the finals.
Yeah.
He had to go against Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason and those guys.
He got the end of Bird, and he got the Bad Boys.
He got the Bad Boys when they got old.
You got to face Zoe and Larry Johnson, and then you got to face Reggie Miller, and then you got to face Shaq and Penny in Orlando.
Shaq and Penny beat him.
But when he came back, they beat him. They beat Orlando next year.
Didn't they sweep him? Didn't they sweep him the next year?
And then Shaq bolted to the West.
Went to the West.
So
who was he playing in the West though? You got Sean.
You're not gonna convince me that Lonzo and Larry Johnson are better than the Toronto Raptors with DeMar DeRozan. I just don't think that.
I can't believe how high you are on the Raptors, because we had this debate via Twitter. Sometime last year.
I'm just naming out teams. I'll give you the Knicks, but the Knicks couldn't. Outside of Patrick Ewing, they didn't have a scorer. Okay, I mean,
what? Starks wasn't a scorer for the Knicks.
Starks is not a legend.
Harper wasn't a 3-point sniper.
Yeah, I'm talking about a legit scorer. You throw the ball to, they're going to get you a bucket.
Okay, but look at this. You got Alonzo Mourning. You got the best shot blocker in the league at that time, and then you got the grandmama, and then you got Kendall Gill, who's a slasher. They are way better than the
best shot. Rudy Gobert is the best shot blocker in the league, and the Jazz are 4 games below 500.
You can't compare this Jazz team to that Hornets team. It's not.
Oh no, absolutely. But what I'm saying is the East isn't great, but the top of the East hasn't been as awful as everyone.
But here's the other thing: if Michael Jordan was on the Heat during the time that LeBron was, they do not lose to Dallas.
He's not losing to Dallas.
There's no way they lose to the Mavericks.
I'll give you that, but at the same time, let's give Dirk Nowitzki some credit for that, because that is one of the greatest finals, MJ included, LeBron included, ever.
Yeah,
he balled out. People want to hate on that. Dirk is arguably, you can make a case that Dirk is top 15 player of all time.
Yeah.
Like, Dirk's damn good, and nobody gives him credit for that.
Yeah, okay, all right. I agree with that.
LeBron melted. I agree.
Is Charles Barkley a top 15 player of all time?
Charles Barkley's damn good. I mean...
Okay, is Karl Malone a top 15 player of all time?
Oof.
Are you kidding me?
Do not hesitate.
Come on, man.
I'd say yes, but you got. I mean, if we're looking back,
is Isaiah Thomas a top 15 player of all time?
See, that's what we get into. I don't know about Isaiah. I really don't.
Isaiah's probably one of the best point guards.
I think John Stockton's better than Isaiah, and Stockton.
Well, that's geography bias probably for us.
I mean, we look at the assist numbers; it's not close.
So I'll say this, because you mentioned like I'm a LeBron hater. I respect LeBron James. Hold on, I respect LeBron James. I really do. I like him off the court. I don't like how hyped up he is with everything. Like everything that ever happens in the NBA, it's like, oh, the Grizzlies coach got fired and LeBron wants an explanation. That's garbage. Like, he does not deserve an explanation when he's playing for the Cavs. My thing is I also hated Michael Jordan. Like, probably worse than I hated LeBron James because of what he did to the Utah Jazz. But equally, I respected his skill. And so when I look at it, I respect LeBron James. I don't hate what he's done or anything. I just think, for me, it comes down to, if I had to pick one of those guys to be on my team, to go win me a game, I would take Michael Jordan.
I see, and I take LeBron every time.
I'll tell you this. This is probably the biggest difference for me. Let me just get through this, and I'll toss it back over to you. This is the biggest difference for me. I've seen a lot of people talk about comparing their stats. They're different players. I don't know if that's not
Play the same position. Ish.
No.
I mean, LeBron. I'd argue
LeBron's a point guard.
He's a more athletic Magic Johnson.
LeBron's a point guard. He's the best point guard that was ever born.
That's probably true.
The numbers, you can talk about the numbers. They don't quite match up. I mean, just because the differences in the era, position, style of play. Yeah. The biggest difference for me, and something that I don't know that LeBron can ever change, especially now, my first memory of watching sports was the 98 finals. That's the first thing that I can remember watching.
Kill me.
That's the first thing that, like, going back as far as I can in my mind, that's the first thing that I can remember watching was that finals. And I remember I was, how old were we, 6?
I was 4.
6.
I remember thinking after that game that Michael Jordan could not be beat. I remember thinking, I mean, I was only 6, but I remember thinking that. I was like, I can't believe we actually thought we were going to win. This guy cannot be beat. Like, it just can't happen. And I know I didn't see him when he was young in his career and he was getting beat all the time. But from what I knew and from what I watched when I was that age, he could not be beat. There was this aura of invincibility around him. And that's only grown since he stopped playing, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, the media paves over every little imperfection. They give that thing some new asphalt. They go over it, make it nice.
And so that's grown.
Smooth.
That's grown. And I think but that says something about the kind of player that he is. Now, I'll say this. I think LeBron, in a lot of ways, is probably the best basketball player I've seen, but he is not the greatest basketball player that I've seen. Because I've seen Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan had this aura of invincibility about him, and that is something that LeBron doesn't have. And I like I said, I'm not old enough to know what it was like when MJ was young and he was getting beat and everybody was criticizing because he didn't pass or whatever else. It seems like the players who played with him respect him in a different way than the players who are playing with LeBron right now respect LeBron. It's more of we feel like we can beat this guy. I feel like the Warriors don't respect LeBron at all.
I don't think they do.
I feel like the Warriors don't respect. I don't feel like the Warriors would. First of all, the Warriors would beat MJ's both teams. The Spurs would beat them too.
I would love to see that.
And I'll die on that hill.
Okay.
I will die on that hill.
Okay, well that's an argument for a separate time, probably.
And second of all, to get to this whole, greatness or whatever, MJ left to go play baseball. Gambling. Pete Rose. No, wait, sorry. Got a cough there. Didn't mean to do that, but I did. So they won 58 games that year. MJ leaves. They won 55. 3-game difference. LeBron goes to a team. They win about 60 games. They leave. LeBron leaves. Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh still in Miami. Still 2 top 20 players in the league. They win like 20 games. LeBron, you're talking greatness, you can put him on any team and they'll at least go into the conference finals and probably the finals.
In the East.
Any team on the East.
You even drop him on the West, you put him on the Utah Jazz. The Jazz
are good though. We were
you
missing
drop
a
him on
couple.
the Phoenix Suns, I still think that they're making the conference finals. Just by himself. He's that good.
I respect that.
Like, MJ couldn't do that.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. If LeBron James plays on the Phoenix Suns, they will be in the conference finals.
I believe
LeBron James, come to the Jazz, and
I don't think
we'll all change our mind. You'll be the greatest player that ever played.
When he was young,
they were getting bounced in the first round.
But they were making the playoffs with MJ alone. LeBron made the playoffs with the Suns, but they're not getting.
LeBron made the playoffs by himself with Eric Snow.
I will say
he did, but who was in the East that year?
The East wasn't overly good. They had about 3 good teams back when MJ played. There's 8 teams to make the playoffs.
My argument is this: if Michael Jordan and LeBron play 1-on-1, I say Mike gets the edge because Mike is a more fierce competitor.
How's Mike going to guard him?
Michael can guard him. Michael can guard anybody.
LeBron would take him to the post.
He's got 2 defensive player of the years.
No way.
Hey, so I will say this: I think that if Michael Jordan does not leave to go play baseball, there's a good chance he wins 8 finals in a row.
8.
But however, we're short on time. But Chase, before we end here, we kind of wanted to get your thoughts. Tonight, the Jazz are playing the Celtics for the first time since Gordon Hayward left.
Betray Wood. Him and Kevin Durant can start a coward club, and I'd send him the first $20. Go fund me. Let's do it. Cowards.
I'm glad you said fund.
That's what I have to think.
Tell us how you really feel, Chase.
I mean, dude, I have zero respect for Gordon Hayward. First of all, I'm glad he's making his money. I guess it's sad what happened to him, but he's still getting paid. So
tell him what you told us before the show about how you felt bad about him.
I don't feel bad about it. Like, people are like, oh, I feel bad for him. No, he's making $128 million. I feel bad for people that are struggling to put food on their table. I don't feel bad for somebody that makes $128 million and breaks his ankle.
What if he broke his ankle for the Jazz?
He didn't. He left the Jazz. But he didn't.
Like, what if Rudy Gobert broke his ankle?
I mean, yeah, but Rudy Gobert didn't mislead a whole franchise into thinking he's going to re-sign. Paul George, at least Paul George was straight up and told the Pacers, yo, dude, I'm out, so they could get something. Gordon Hayward not only misled the Jazz, then after it came out, he's like, oh no, I might come back, so the Jazz can't sign any other players. He gave the double middle finger to the Jazz organization. He wouldn't talk to Gail Miller. He's a coward, plain and simple.
This is a conversation that I've been meaning to have on here for a while, but an opportunity never came up. Why is it now when people get injured, when they tear their ACLs or something like that, why is it like they're dead? And it's like, oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure
they got diagnosed with cancer, and it's like, oh my gosh,
they're still
prayers
getting
up.
paid.
It's like,
well, Zach Miller and the Bears, when he was going to lose his leg, I understand that.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, like, there was more, of that for Gordon Hayward breaking his ankle than there was for Isaiah Thomas's sister. I feel like it was comparative to the same thing.
It happened
and one passed away.
Sure, and it's like when Deshaun Watson tore his ACL, same thing.
Carson Wentz. I cried.
Carson Wentz.
I legit cried.
But everyone's like, oh my gosh, prayers up. It's like they're dead. It's like, okay, they're gonna be fine. Bodies heal. Like,
yeah, Gordon will be playing League of Legends for 9 months, getting paid $128 million a year. Sorry.
Just to play League of Legends.
But all right, that's the end of the sports show. The sports room, the sports show that actually does talk about sports. Chase, it was great having you. We loved having you here on our show. We'll get you back here shortly. We'll see. Maybe if the Eagles are in the playoffs making a run.
Follow us on Twitter @_thesportsroom_ same handle for Instagram. Find us on Facebook. Email us at the sportsroomtalkshow@gmail.com. Final words, Chase?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Fly, Eagles, fly.
You'll be back, baby. See ya.